necessarily a bad thing. Because she could be a standard in 2025, because standard in women's wrestling right now is very good and very high, but she has that, what the kids say, aura, right? That established fan base that now she brings to the standard of 2025 women's professional wrestling. She is now going to be allowed and capable to move the needle, something she was never able to do.
It kind of reminds me of, like, this is what makes wrestling so magical, that we can have these conversations, because if you look at age and athleticism, things like that, you can't do this in sports. You just cannot, right? Imagine if you had a time machine and you pulled David Robinson, who was the San Antonio Spurs legend, the Admiral, who was someone who was lean, athletic center, who could dive in, who could play a mid-range, he could do dunks, and he was just a freak of nature. If you plucked him out and put him in today's era, right, it's a fun conversation to have. Will he have the same success, or will he have the same dominating impact that he would because of his athleticism? But the game's changed. The NBA has changed. There's more big athletic guys that can work on the outside. They can shoot threes. The inside is no longer is all packed in. Things of that sort. Like, there's a change of the game. And when I asked this question, and this is the whole purpose of my video, is just to create a discussion, right? Is the game of AJ Lee put in today's modern day wrestling? Could it work? And I think you answer that is because it's allowed to work. And when Triple H, when he, in the video, and I mentioned this in a video as well, when he shook AJ Lee's hand, he said, "Thank you for trusting us." Right? There's a big conversation, because you have to remember, if CM Punk was in AEW, I'm sure Tony Khan was asking about AJ Lee. Is there any way I could get AJ Lee signed and get back?
100%. 100%, yeah.
And you know Tony Khan had the money to throw anything at AJ Lee to get her to do it. Because AJ Lee is a big draw for the women's division if Tony Khan got her. Then you would get so many people interested into women's wrestling at AEW. So my question for you is, does AJ Lee being part of the WWE division entice Mercedes Moné to come back, or other top wrestling talent who were her favorite back in the day?
Sure.
Your wrestling's favorite wrestler.
Yeah. Let's not forget, Motor City Machine Guns came up with that. Your favorite tag team's favorite tag team. I just want to make sure that Raging Piss gets their time in the sun, all right?
Sure.
They came up with that.
Indeed.
In terms of...
They need your push up.
Guard, they need the Santi road.
They need your flowers.
Could this entice the Mercedes Monets of the world to come back? Could, Toni Storm used to be in WWE. She didn't have a particularly great experience there. I think funny enough, I think it's more important how Jade Cargill does than AJ Lee to entice AEW talent to come back to the WWE. Like, to see, like, how do they treat the star power that I generated elsewhere in the WWE? Because AJ Lee didn't need to go do that. She didn't generate star power elsewhere. All her star power, all of her fame comes from the WWE and her work and her affiliation with CM Punk. Mercedes Moné doesn't have that. She does, actually, from her fame in WWE. Toni Storm doesn't have that.
No, you're misinterpreting my question.
Okay.
My question is, having AJ Lee in the WWE, would people want to work with her?
Oh, okay, that's a bit more clear.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not in the head of Mercedes Moné, but, like, Mercedes Moné specifically seems like somebody that wants to leave a footprint in the industry. And now you've unlocked a new Smash Bros character. I still remember to this day having played Smash Bros for like 200 hours, Smash Bros Melee, and after like 200 hours of playtime, all of a sudden a new character appears. I'm like, what the hell? And it's Mewtwo. I'm like, I didn't know you could unlock Mewtwo. There was no guides or anything back then, or no internet forums that I was following. That in itself, I was like, ooh, now I want to go play as Pikachu to play against Mewtwo. I want to take all of the characters that I've learned to play against Mewtwo and play it, because now a new character that I didn't think was available to me to have matches against is now there. And I'm thinking maybe that's the same mentality, like a Mercedes Moné, a Toni Storm. Ooh, an AJ Lee, somebody that is a new character that has been unlocked in the WWE that I never thought was available for me to have matches with, is now available for me to have matches with. And to have a match with AJ Lee, if you're a Toni Storm or a Mercedes Moné, like, that helps build legacy, right? Those needle movers list of people you want to have a match against?
It's going to be wild. I think when contracts are up, a lot of questions need to be asked because money is money. I understand. You know, people will take money for various reasons, for their family, for generational wealth, things of that sort. But legacy is different, dude. Legacy is priceless.
Well,
to have a match on the table with AJ Lee, someone that you looked up for your entire life, maybe you became a wrestler because of AJ Lee, and who looks great in health and could go who knows how long. I mean, based on the way she trains, I think like she could have some solid matches in her belt. It's not going to be like she's going to be one and done, but I think when Mercedes Moné's contract's up, you got to ask that question.
Yeah, and when it comes to the question of money and contracts, because I saw a lot of people trying to clown on Blake Monroe for taking less money and going to work in NXT as opposed to taking the bigger money and being a main eventer in AEW. People think that that's so weird. Listen, I myself have taken pay cuts to go to a different company to have a position with a higher ceiling, where I can work and have a longer, bigger runway to do bigger things down the line. WWE will always be the place where you can do the bigger things. It just is. Even with pay cuts, even if you come into the WWE and take less money than what's being offered in AEW, the potential that you can accomplish in the WWE in terms of freaking TV roles, movie roles, becoming mainstream is just so much higher in WWE than it is in AEW, and that goes alongside with legacy as well. So, if I'm a Mercedes Moné, would that entice me? Surely, I'm thinking about it. Surely.
You know what's interesting is it's hard to teach people anything about a new brand. You know how there's people out there that still don't know that Twitch exists, and they don't understand the concept of streaming. Like how I have to explain myself what a streamer does, all this new thing. Do you know how difficult it is to probably tell someone, oh, there's a new wrestling promotion called AEW? And they go, what's that? It's like WCW, it's on TBS and TNT. Really? Who's in it? And then, right, there's just a whole new thing. You know instantly what WWE is. You don't have to really explain it that much because it's been around for such a long time. So I'm just hoping to see that maybe, like I get, Xbox and PlayStation, they put their game controllers down and now they're letting their multiplayer forms and things of that sort help out.
Xbox lost. Xbox just lost, and now they're conceding. That isn't working together.
I'm simply saying, brother, that maybe one day we can get AJ Lee and Mercedes Moné in a WWE, AEW. We love tossing that little segment together. How much water is in there?
That's like a gallon jug. I just chugged a gallon.
Do you drink it a day?
I drink like 4 a day.
Do you wash it every day?
No. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. Whatever, man. Whatever.
What's left right now? What's left right now in returns?
Mercedes for sure. Mox, Chris Jericho. We already got the Adam Copeland return to WWE, so I
Adam Cole? I know he might retire based on his last.
Adam Cole's is different because I almost like don't consider him having ever been part of WWE proper because he only touched NXT.
Okay.
So if he came to WWE, like in my head, that's like a debut. It's not technically like from a business perspective, it's not, but like in my head, it is. Tony Storm returning to the WWE would be insane. Swerve.
As timeless.
It has to be as timeless. Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana.
Anyone from TNA? I mean, they already did they're teasing the Hardys, but it's not the. That's what I mean. Like the more you're like TNA already feels like WWE surrogate, so it's like you're already kind of in TNA. No. What about AJ Francis, baby?
Yeah, I think that's inevitable.
AJ Francis put a down payment on somebody on the main roster. I don't think enough people in this world know about the down payment choke slam.
It's the best choke slam in the game. It's incredible.
It is. I'm not just saying that because AJ Francis watches us closely. I would never take that move ever.
So, AJ, Sancho in private said you're a little bitch.
No, never. Dude, I am a frail man. What about carrying cross?
that's so new, so recent.
I know, but it would still be a return that's on.
It's not to the level of some of the people we've talked about.
Maybe like a Braun Strowman.
No, no, that's bigger than Braun Strowman, but it's not like Moxley level. It's not Monet level.
When LA Knight was like, LeBron James, Bronny James, I was waiting for it. Braun Strowman. I was waiting for it. Okay, so I'm trying to think of anybody else. Like, I guess Sting, but Sting's retired. I think Sting's return was so moneyed and I hated wanting to watch it on Match Club. I still hate it because that was Bloodline Rules-esque.
Yeah.
That's the first indication of inkling of Bloodline Rules from the Triple H era.
He's talking about WrestleMania 31, the Mania 31 match.
Yeah, when they had NWO come out to save Sting,
which makes no sense. Which literally makes no sense. It'd be like fucking Joker coming out to help Batman simply because Lex Luthor is beating up Batman.
It would be like Rita and Lord Zed helping out the Power Rangers, brother.
Yeah, it just made no sense. Anyways.
Make it make sense.
Mark, it makes sense.
We got Brock Lesnar already back. I mean, we have Rusev already back. And there's not that many left, dude. Really think about it.
There's not that many left.
I mean, there would be like the Kenny Omegas, that'd be different, right? But there's not that many left. Hey, let's talk about AJ Styles real quick.
Sure.
That's a departure that's coming down the road. You see it? The exit for AJ Styles. He just resigned, and he posted a little picture of an hourglass ticking away with the phenomenal logo, slipping through time. And then he cut that promo. So what do you think about Mr. AJ Styles?
I'm gonna shoot for the fences. Like shoot for the fences for this. As in, we're going towards WrestleMania with this. I think this is a work program that leads to the purchase of TNA. AJ Styles returning to TNA. He's disgruntled. I'm here to get my buddies back because they took all of my friends away. And this is the major storyline, the catalyst that leads to the purchase of TNA that gets announced at WrestleMania like they announced AAA. I'm swinging for the fences with that storyline.
Wow. Bold.
It's bold, but do you see it? Do you see it?
Right?
You see what I'm trying to say here, son Joe? Do you see it?
Can you imagine if Tyrion was still a part of it because he told AJ Styles you need to defend pro wrestling from the Logan Pauls. You remember that? He was like, Alan, you need to take it down. Let's do it, Alan.
Dude, it's all Joe.
That doesn't, remember?
I
It was there.
I remember.
So if AJ Styles is there to say pro wrestling with TNA, I think that would be quite interesting. And I like that a lot because poor AJ Styles. Remember when we had Emo Styles? When he was sulking in the locker room and then the Good Brothers and Micha came up to him, what's going on, AJ? And he's like, rah! And he slapped one of the Good Brothers around. You know, he did one of those things. I feel it's interesting for AJ. I think all roads do lead to TNA. And I feel like it makes the most sense. And I feel like the WWE now is on that circle kick. You know, we had a 10-year Sami Zayn, John Cena match. They're on that. They're into. I thought they would let John Cena retire in Boston. You have any money, Boston? They let that happen. So it would be cool for AJ to go back to TNA and lead the charge. But do you see that the power difference of a move in wrestling that's supported by a story? Imagine if AAA was supported, the purchase by a story. Like Dominic Mysterio was out there and he was kind of leading the charge to purchase AAA. Even the same thing of Shane McMahon being the owner of WCW is a story-based move. I'm wanting more of these type of wrestling moves that are supported by a story because them just dropping AAA, it was cool. And I think it only worked because that Worlds Collide, that first one was a banger. But imagine if it had a little bit of story to it that gives more legs going forward.
Yeah, maybe they do that here with the purchase of TNA off the back off the back of an AJ Styles defection angle. That'd be sick. That'd be sick, dude. I like it. Picasso, do it. Book it, Vince. WrestlePalooza, the card is building up. How you feeling so far about WrestlePalooza? I'm a little nervous specifically about the women's match. What's going on there with Stephanie Vaquer not appearing on TV seemingly for like 6 weeks now? But aside from that, it's building up to be a pretty solid big card. What else do you want to see get added to WrestlePalooza? Palooza? What do you think it's missing here?
Let's see. Oh, well, think of the matches that we have right now. We have Brock versus John.
Yep.
We have the mixed tag team of Rollins, CM Punk, Becky, AJ.
Yep.
We have Stephanie and Io, which is, like you mentioned, up in the air.
Yep. And the Usos versus Braun.
And by the way, Jey Uso has been banned from the Glaze Factory. You see Jey Uso, you see this face of Jey Uso, and it's a bummer that Jimmy has the same face as Jey Uso because they're both banned from the Glaze Factory. You cannot get Glaze from here because how dare you, sir, hurt LA Knight? How dare you spear LA Knight when he saved your ass and both of your asses, four of your cheeks. Four cheeks saved. You know what I mean? That's what happened. That's what happened, and LA Knight went out there for the sacrifice because we would have had a tsunami watch in Milwaukee.
Does LA Knight get on WrestlePalooza, or is he just out there in the cup chair watching the Usos and the Brawns have their match? He's just sitting in the corner. He's just sitting in the corner of the hotel.
LA Knight sitting
in a chair in the corner of a hotel room.
Just that alone. It is a travesty. It is a travesty. But does LA Knight end up on the card? No, because
it's LA Knight and he gets the shaft all the time. That's just the truth. Do we get a world title match here? Like, do we get Cody?
You have to have Cody.
I agree.
I thought you would have Cody and McIntyre, right? Like that's seemingly the thing. Because remember when he's like, Cody, let me see the injury report. He's a bitch. Like, I didn't have that in there, so. Well, you have to have Cody Rhodes. He's your biggest names, and this is the thing, the biggest names. Unless you don't want Cody to, you gotta have Cody. John Cena and Brock are closing. Period. That's the main event. So who's gonna open? And Roman's out filming as Akuma, so you could have Cody Rhodes and Drew be the opener. That'd be a banger opener, right?
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, I think you need a men's world championship match happening.
I think, yeah, you gotta have Dom. I think you have Dom there again. I think you can revisit Dom and AJ Styles again here. And Dom comes out with the two belts, the Mega Campeon, and then you could start the Finn Balor thing. Because that's where you would have Finn Balor. Remember, Finn Balor's like, what's up, man? What are you doing with Grande Americano? And who, my friend, has a correlation with Finn Balor from his
AJ Styles.
There you go.
He's been by himself. They took away all my friends, and he did put up the Bullet Club logo. A little too sweet. Perhaps. I do like that. Mayhaps. Against who? They've not been feuding with anybody. But I just, like, right off the rip, I like the fact that we are 2 weeks away from WrestlePalooza. There's actually 4 matches. You know, like we have, you know, we're not a week away, and it's like, fuck. Put this in there. Yeah, Wyatt 6th Street Profits, sure, the night before, go for it. I hope this ends up being like a 7-8 match card. I hope that they go deep in the paint with even adding maybe like a Damian Priest and Aleister Black in a street fight or something.
You know, Wepa time and what's up?
A little bit of Wepa time.
Wepa-palooza?
You know what somebody said in my chat that and it got me really nervous because they sent me a super chat saying that the reason Stephanie Vaquer wasn't on Monday Night Raw was allegedly because she tested positive in a random drug test for Wepa.
No.
It's crazy.
I hate you.
Wepa.
Hey, let's look at it. If WrestlePalooza, let the adult talk here for a second, okay? Little boy. If WrestlePalooza,
I don't like the way you call me little boy.
WrestlePalooza.
Oh, boy.
I watched this movie called Long Legs. You ever seen that movie?
I have, dude. That's such a weird movie. Yeah.
Daddy! My man! Nicolas Cage, dude.
Nicolas
He
Cage,
was a great pro wrestler, dude. He would have been a phenomenal pro wrestler, man. Long Legs is a cool.
It's a spooky movie for sure.
Yeah, because what I did was I was like, what movies are like weapons? And that one came up. I was like, oh, okay. if WrestlePalooza is supposed to be like, hey, here are our best and shining stars, then obviously everything. I think every title should be considered to be on the card. Dare I say, even in AAA, even in some TNA. If WrestlePalooza to me sounds like a mismatch of everything that we have and what we have to offer, put a NXT as well. Like just put everything you can on there because then it says to an ESPN audience like, oh my God, they have TNA. This is cool. This Joe Henry guy is pretty cool. Oh, they have NXT. This is kind of cool. This is on this show. I want to watch Ricky Saints type of thing. Ricky Saints and Oba Femi type of thing, right? They're gonna have those matches there on the card and I think that AAA would be awesome to have for as well, because then it kind of promotes this idea of a world that they have in ESPN and WWE, and it sets up for future Worlds Collide things of that sort.
I agree. Worlds Collide would be so fire if it's WWE, AAA, and TNA.
That should be the standard. That'd be awesome. So they gotta have I do think they gotta have the White Six. That has to be on WrestlePalooza.
Okay.
I need that. I need White Six. I think you could maybe have Oba Femi if you want to.
How about you mentioned Wide Six. Could we see another big SmackDown tag team match? Not necessarily TLC, but a car wreck of sorts.
That'd be nice. A ladder match.
Yeah, like a showcase of like, hey, this is our most solid division. Here it is, ESPN.
Yeah, I like that idea, and then definitely maybe bring in who's gonna say you gotta have Tiffany Stratton. I think Tiffany Stratton, who's been off TV, feels like forever. I know she does segments, things like that, but I think giving some fuel, some gusto to Tiffany Stratton is needed.
Okay.
I agree. Has to be at WrestlePalooza.
Yeah, I mean they're having a match here upcoming on Monday on Friday Night SmackDown for the women's title, 2 weeks out from WrestlePalooza.
I thought Randy and Drew would be at WrestlePalooza when they announced it on SmackDown. I was like, what?
Yeah, you said Cody and Drew. What about Triple Threat? Cody, Drew, and Randy.
Oh.
That way you get as like big name, like an extra big name on the WrestlePalooza card.
People love triple threats.
They do.
I've always, when people ask me every year who do you think's gonna win the Super Bowl, I'm like, oh, I want the Dallas Cowboys to come in and cash in on their contract. They're making a triple threat.
My God, is that Jerry Jones? My